Hi guys and ladies, welcome back to another exciting episode of Being an Analyst. My name is Tisama Matieti. Being an Analyst is a perfect podcast if you are thinking about finding inspiration to start or enhance your analysis career. What we try to do on our side, we aim to inspire you with everything else that we share so that you can become an excellent expert analyst. If that is your goal, you are in the right place because we do everything else that we could to make sure that you are enjoying your work and you are taking advantage of what digital transformation and innovation is presenting for us. This is episode number 28. And in this episode, we're going to be discussing the golden nuggets. We're going to be talking about the golden nuggets and especially looking at how data analytics transforms banking insight. We're just going to pick that case study and discuss it just after our theme song. Stay tuned. So finding golden nuggets is not just the nice to have. Imagine getting a happy message in your day of divorce. That will just be shocking because most companies we have seen they are not able to really understand us as customers. And finding the golden nuggets is the ability to go and then find out or understand customers much better. And we do that using this thing called data. And data can actually help out businesses in different industries to actually find out and know more about their customers and know more about their vendors, know more about their products, and know more about all of these exciting things. But in this particular case, we're looking at the one particular bank in South Africa called Nedbank that actually has got a lot of data. They have a lot of data about people swiping, spend, when you swipe. They use that information. They go into the mall. They can tell the mall what really happens. One key insight that was quite funny was that they picked up that in one particular mall in KZN in Durban, Gateway shopping center, also a Gateway mall, the people normally like to take out their significant others on Wednesday and Tuesdays to the movies. But nice part about it is when they go to the movies, they actually pop into the Guess store and they buy some jeans and some accessories. So now they went and they, using that data, because they know the swipe spend, they were able to tell the shops where they should actually move and, be close to which shops. Like in this case, if the Guess store does agree, they can say, Guess store, can you consider actually relocating next to the movies so that when the people go to the movies on Tuesday and on Wednesday, they can pop into your store. And besides, the Tuesday and Wednesday sales are actually higher than your Saturdays and Sunday sale or any other day sale. So in that case, those are quite exciting, useful insights. So the nice part about what we find out from this particular case that we were looking at with Nedbank is that number one, we have to start identifying the golden nuggets. We should, as people, when we look at our data, we should focus on identifying the abnormal patterns or the outliers in the data that can lead to valuable insights. These insights can then be used to tailor products or services to customers, enhance engagement and satisfaction, like we have just said now with the guests and the people that are taking their significant others to the movies. It's quite a nice insight that, sometimes as a retailer, you might not know that, oh my heck, my people are actually spending money in a different way or in a different pattern than what I've quite anticipated. Besides, every community is a case study on its own. The second point that we have to look at is that data storytelling. We need to utilize data to tell stories that inform decision making, not just stories that, nice to have. Like I said, if you're having the nice to have stories and are not to be used for decision making, then we are not using our data analytics properly. If you want to get the best data from best output from the data analytics team, make sure that you tell stories that will be useful when executive sits around, when the board sits around and make a decision. So for decision making is thumbs up as far as I'm concerned. By analyzing the point of sale data and customer behavior in the case of Nedbank, it was able to create narratives that guide strategic decisions, such as opening new revenue streams and optimizing store locations, like we have said in this case. Imagine you come over, you're still struggling as a small business owner, and before you know it, here comes the big bank to say, hang on a second, we have actually analyzed the 50 transactions that you just made this year. They're like, okay, what about them? Like, yeah, we know your shop is struggling, but we say, if we give you a loan and you move to this particular location, you'll be able to double your sale. And, you being, the entrepreneur that you are, you can just say, yeah, okay, let's move. And then you move into a new location. Before you know it, your 50 transaction turns into 1 million transactions because they just told you where you should move. The third point is predictive modeling, which is what most of us are. Actually, when we think about data, we think about predictive modeling. We must develop predictive models to anticipate customer actions and preferences. So in this case, once we have seen 50 transactions, it's good enough data to predict what type of a person will come next, and to actually look at who are these 50 that actually transacted with you. So you'll be able to, using predictive model, you'll be able to scale the future. What will it look like? By leveraging tools like SaaS, we have a lot of tools that are out there, but this SaaS Enterprise Miner is the one that is in particular that was being used. Analysts can forecast customer purchases, churn rates, and resource demands, leading to more effective marketing strategies and improved customer retention. So what you have to do is just to think about what will likely happen in the future. Once you crack that code to say what will likely happen in the future, and we're in a good state to say, hang on a second, what should we do, or what should we not do with the data that we have? But half the time, I said, the insight are just sitting right in front of us. Another one is monetization of data. I think we have spent some time on episode number, I think it was 26, where we've spoken about data warehouses and data marketplaces where you can actually sell data. But in this case, it says consider monetizing insights derived from data analysis. So in this case, you go around, you get your finding. Let's say, for instance, you are a cash and carrier, or you are a bank in this case. You get your insights. After you get your insight, you just don't keep it because it doesn't belong to you. But you take it to the guest store. You say, guest, we have some report for you. Are you willing to sit down with us for 10,000, for 20,000, for 30,000, for 150,000? Are you willing to sit down and listen to us? Because we can actually help you 10x your revenue this year. If they're able to sit down, then you are monetizing the insights that you have just set with them. So in this case, we see in our scenario that this particular bank not only uses data internally, but also can sell it back to the client as a service. So now this whole business to business insights we can say, hang on a second, let's just help you grow, and then guess what? We have a new neighborhood coming over. It looks like the type of people that normally used to buy from Gateway are now moving to this new neighborhood. So we suggest you open up the store. Even though the neighborhood doesn't have enough people, like, other stores might say we're waiting for 50,000 homes before we move in. Even if the store doesn't have 50,000 homes for you to move in, but as soon as we see your type of clients moving into this particular neighborhood, we can already tell you to say, probably consider moving to that neighborhood and opening up your store. So in this case, whatever data that you have, you can monetize not just the data on the data marketplace, but the insights itself where you're selling directly to the organization that you're looking at. This approach not only generates revenue, but also derives value-added services to customers who lack sophisticated BI capabilities. Not everybody has got the capabilities or have got deep pockets to actually buy sophisticated or high-tech resources, data scientists, data analysis, you name them, data engineers that are involved in the whole process, data insights process. Not everybody can afford that. That goes into multiples of millions. But if you have the insights there and you saw the insights, you just don't sit with them internally, but you can actually share with them with everybody else to say, listen, are you interested in this? We have these insights. It can actually help your business grow. Are you willing to sit down with us? Let's talk. Then you can centralize that. The fifth point that we're looking at is centralized leads management. We know that every other company, their existence is totally dependent on leads. If you cannot generate leads, it becomes a problem. But here we're looking at centralizing the leads management, not just to have leads coming over from different avenues. You're bringing all the leads together into one centralized repository. In this case, you say we are implementing a centralized leads management to coordinate efforts across different business areas. This will ensure efficient campaigns planning, execution, and reporting, leading to a deeper client relationship and improve acquisition rates with fewer leads. Have you ever had multiple calls from an insurance company? Different insurance company, that is. You just got an insurance, you did a direct call. You call one insurance company or provider, and now you're getting all the calls from everybody else. They want to beat the quote that you've already accepted. You haven't even done your first premium as yet. Everybody just wants you as a customer. So to avoid that, because I've gotten calls from one organization with different departments, to avoid irritating a customer who just purchased a solution with multiple solutions, others are just waste of his time or her time. To avoid all of that, having the centralized leads management can actually allow for a better streamline as an organization and better streamlining of leads management as an industry. Imagine if all the insurances could come together and they bid on you before they call you, so that as a customer, you don't get multiple calls. You only get one call that actually talks to your needs to say, hang on a second, Mr. A, we have this solution for you. We know typically you would pay X amount, but we are willing to give you this amount if you bring your whole family into the plan. Something like that will make sense. You only get one call, hence why it says here, you have improved acquisition rate, which means more people will be able to take in whatever you are selling, but now with fewer leads. You don't need a huge amount of people. Because remember, if you are irritating a person, you call them for a credit card, you call them for a vehicle finance, you call them for a student loan, the person is getting tired. And then now you want to call them for an investment plan, and it's just ask you to say, hang on a second, how many times are you going to call me in one day? But if you centralized everything else, you can actually have a bundle offering for them. So when they say yes to one product, you can say, hang on a second, it's actually, let's give you a bundle product. You see, you are still a student. We're going to give you a credit card that's half the amount of what you qualify for. We're going to give you a student loan like that you applied for. And in the future, we're going to be piggy banking into this. You can buy a small apartment and then get yourself a small car that you can afford if you can just, get yourself a student piece job or whatever, a temp job on the side as a student. So in that case, you create a nice centralized leads management. And that's what this bank was able to do. So instead of irritating the people in retail with different products, they now call targeted people. But the only problem is it's one organization. The industry still, as customers, we're still bombarded by different banks and different insurances, everybody else trying to sell us something. So, but in this case, they've solved their issue. So they claim they've done very well on centralized leads management. Have I gotten a call from any of them? No, not as far. So I'm assuming they actually done quite well. The sixth and the last point that we're looking at is having data-driven decision-making, meaning that your internal processes are not just based on thumb-sucking or gut feeling or based on history or tradition or based on whatever your organizational culture is based on, but rather you're looking at data-driven decision-making. So you'll be here embracing a data-driven approach to decision-making across all business functions by integrating statistical modeling and analytics into operations. Organizations such as yourself or whatever one that you're working for can optimize process, enhance efficiency, and drive profitability. Because the whole point here, I know I spend most of my time in finance, the whole point here, it's all about profitability. If we don't increase in profitability, whatever we are trying to do will be in vain. So using a data-driven decision-making to increase profitability will actually yield much better results for us, and you will get your change back. You'll get your return on investment into your data store, if I may call them, or a data team, because there's a whole process that says cleaning up data, matching data, analyzing data, predicting data, insights, presentation, selling, connection, redoing the whole process again. It doesn't matter where you are. Whatever that data storefront that you just created, if your organization is actually doing data-driven decision-making, you will be able to get your best return out of that. Okay, let's move over to a second segment where we're going to be doing exciting stuff. Simple quiz. This quiz is just to check us, check our knowledge, check our interest into this whole topic, to say what are the ways that that we can unveil the golden nuggets, and how we can use data analysis to transform whatever insights that we're looking at. In this case, we start with the first question. We got 5 questions, multiple choice. Just stretch your mind a little bit and go along with it. First question is, what term does Nedbank use to describe valuable insights derived from data analysis? Is it number 1, data stories? Number B or number 2, golden nuggets? Number 3 or number C, predictive models? Number D or number 4, centralized leads? What term does Nedbank use to describe valuable insights derived from data analysis? The answer to that is number 2 or number B, which is the golden nuggets. So they're using the golden nuggets, the title of our episode today, golden nuggets. Second one, which SaaS tool does Nedbank use? I mentioned that in passing. Which SaaS tool does Nedbank use to build descriptive and predictive models for uncovering hidden opportunities in data? Is it number 1 or number A, SaaS Enterprise Miner? Number B or number 2, is it SaaS Office Analytics? Or is it number C or number 3, SaaS Visual Analytics? Number D or number 4, SaaS Data Management. Which SaaS tool does Nedbank use to build descriptive and predictive models for uncovering hidden opportunities in data? The answer to that is number A, is the SaaS Enterprise Miner. I know you do quite well in these answers. Let's go to number 3. The third question says, how does Nedbank use abnormal deposits in customers' accounts to enhance customer engagement? Is it number 1, by offering discounts on banking fees? Number B, by providing relevant product offers? Number C, by sending personalized thank you notes? Number D, by introducing loyalty rewards program? If I'm just using process of elimination, we never spoken about number D, which is introducing loyalty programs. We never spoken about number C, which is sending personalized thank you notes. We never spoken about number A, which is about offering discounts on banking fee. So the answer to how does Nedbank use abnormal deposits in customer accounts to enhance customer engagement, the answer to that is by providing relevant product offers. Okay. Number 4. Question number 4, this is what it goes like. What does Nedbank do with the insights derived from data analysis apart from using them internally? Number A, or number one option, is shares them with competitors. Number B, or number two, says sell them back to clients. Number C, or number three, it says publishes them in academic journals. Number D, or number four, it says keep them confidential for strategic advantage. So which one? What does Nedbank do with the insights derived from data analysis apart from using them internally? The answer to that is number B. It sells them back to clients. We said in this case, it will sell them back to guests to say, listen, we have these insights for you. Are you quite interested in them? If guest is interested in them, they'll say, could you consider moving towards the movie theater so that you can actually get more business coming out that way. So let's do the last one, which is number 5. What benefit does a centralized leads management bring to the Nedbank's campaign planning and execution? Number A, we're looking at it increases campaign cost. Number B, we're looking at it decreases client engagement. Number C, it says it improves post-campaign reporting. Number D says it leads to duplication in client-centric approach. The answer to this one, no, it looks a bit tricky, but by process of elimination, number D, number 4, that says leads to duplication of client-centric approach, we can eliminate that. Number A, we can also eliminate, that says it increases campaign cost, we can eliminate that. The one that says it decreases client engagement, we can eliminate that. So the answer to what benefits does centralized lead management bring to Nedbank's campaign planning and execution, the only answer that makes sense is it improves post-campaign reporting. Okay, so that's the excitement part. Just going into the third segment. Remember, if you are new into the analysis field, whether because you are straight from high school, you're straight from university, or you have your career already in another field, maybe in one of the doctors that you can't find some work, and you're one of the people in humanity or whatever the case is, you've heard about AI and beauty of shortages that we have of analysts in South Africa and Africa as a whole, and you want to take advantage of this. Remember, there are few steps that you could actually look at. We've spoken about this earlier on in the initial episode. So if you go to episode 1 to episode number 10, we actually give you the breakdown of what you should do to actually get started. But for us to just give you a high-level reminder of what you should do in case you don't have enough time to go back to episode 1 or 2. The first one is, besides having the right mindset to actually get started, you must look at low-hanging tools that you can use on your side to make sure that you are able to, enhance whatever you already have into something much better. We know that analysis has got everything else to do with computers, with technology. If you know a little bit about that, we just enhance from that. Number 2 is, we say, start looking at Excel. Most of the people I still say start familiarizing yourself with Excel. You can start with the basic tools, like how to open up a spreadsheet, put data, normal data capturing tools. And after that, you start enhancing yourself to looking at descriptive analytics, looking at averages, mode, median, all of those things, this statistical way. And then after that, you start, Excel will give you those predictive, if you're doing stuff in chronological order, it will predict what's the next part. Get used to what Excel does. And then once you do that, then the next tool that you could consider learning that is quite vital is SQL language. Whether you use the MySQL, whether you use Microsoft SQL Server, it really does not matter. As long as you use the language and you are getting fluent in the language, and you are able to use the language. It's the most beautiful part of thing. Number 3, because of people that actually want to go into data mining and data science and predictive analytics and machine learning, I've seen that they are suggesting Python. But most of them, as much as you've learned about Python, given the improvements in machine learning and data science and them with the software that they're using, like the one that we just spoke about here, the SaaS Enterprise Miner, the improvements of those, they actually use less and less of Python programming language in their field. But it's always nice just to know high level what it's supposed to do, how it's supposed to do it. So getting that training via Udemy or via Coursera, just online, it's actually a good way. If you are low on budget, you can watch a few YouTube videos and get yourself ready on that side. The 4th part that we're going to be looking at is for you to learn a presentation or a business intelligence tool so that you can actually visualize what you just discovered. Using the best ones that is used internationally, if you're thinking about being competitive in the international market, that's Tableau. But in South Africa, based on the dominance of Microsoft, we see that Power BI is actually getting even more attraction. Even tools like SAS, the data gets taken out and it gets plugged into Power BI because of ease of sharing. Because the whole enterprise already uses Microsoft products, it's quite easy to share with that compared to if you are using a certain tool that you have to give everybody else licenses to. So looking at the presentation tool will actually work quite well for you. Number 5, the 5th thing that you should consider doing when you want to become an analyst is looking or polishing up on your presentation skills, because all the time you'll be required to write presentation, you'll be required to show it to take executive or management committees through your insights via presentation. So knowing exactly how to do presentations is quite important. Any of these 5 things, it's a day or 2 course on its own. So if you feel like you actually want to do that, don't worry. You can actually subscribe not only to this podcast if you haven't subscribed, but we have a bi-weekly newsletter that comes out. You can subscribe to that one and also head to our website where you can see the different training offerings that we have to help you in any of the 5 things that we've spoken about so that your knowledge could be much better. We will also refer you to other affiliates that are actually doing the work in any of those 5 things, doing the work much better that we would actually try to do, like in the case of learning Python and them. We'll do all of that. That's us in episode number 28. Let's meet again in episode number 29. Stay blessed.